This IRyS is for English listening practice.
Hi, IRyS. It's IRyS from hololive English Promise. Yesterday, I was still in New York and I was just like, I wanna go. I feel like I'm not super jet lagged though. Okay, first we start from the very beginning. The flight there was very bumpy. bumpy. It was very, very bumpy. Turbulence was going on for like so long. And there was like many times where they were like, oh, what do you want to drink, miss? And I was like, I want tea. And then they were like, okay, tea. And they never came with tea. There were twice I was like, tea, please. They're like, okay, sure. And they leave and then they never come back with the tea. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Shogunai. They forgor twice. They forgor twice. Should have used the call button. I'm too scared to use the call button. I never use the call button. Why is that? Because I don't want to trouble them. If possible, unless something big happens, that's when I trouble them. But I don't trouble them for just drinks. That's, I think, part of the whole I don't want to trouble them thing is the reason why Bae also always buys like a lot of water before going on a plane. I also copied her and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy some water. At first I was like, wait, you could just call them for more water. She was like, I don't want to bug them, so we buy water instead. And I get really scared about using the bathroom on the plane because of the bumpiness. But because I was drinking so much water, I had to use the bathroom many times. And I hate it when you go all the way to the bathroom and you see that it's like someone's in there. So you just have to stand like super awkwardly in front of the bathroom. So you just have to stand like super awkwardly in front of the bathroom. Either that or you go back to your seat and you try to peek and see if that person left already. And I remember one time I was using the bathroom. I just went in. 5 seconds later, someone knocks on my door and I'm like, what do you mean you're knocking? I just went in. I go out and I see a little kid standing and I'm like, oh, it was a kid. Shogunai. We good. And everything went smoothly. I'm really glad I got the luggage I got because it stood out like a sore thumb. Well, not really a sore thumb, but it stood out. I could tell right away it was my luggage. I really need bigger luggage next time to stuff everything in as a carry-on instead. It was small. It was on the smaller side. I think I had the smallest luggage out of everybody. I think I had the smallest luggage out of everybody. Crammed everything in there. So we go restaurante. Food was great. Actually, I think that restaurant that I went on the first day was probably the best food I've had in New York. One restaurante had a humongous breakfast plate even though it was not breakfast time. Humongous. One restaurante had a humongous breakfast plate even though it was not breakfast time. Huge breakfast plate. It was great. Had eggs over easy. And I was like, I want my eggs over easy. And then some of the members were like, what's over easy? Because over easy doesn't really exist in Japan. Subera senpai really liked the over easy. We shared the plate because it was too big. She was like, oh, the egg is nice. I'm like, yes, right? It's over easy. I love over easy eggs. But yeah, I think some of us are like, wait, we didn't expect New York to be this cold. Thankfully, I somehow remembered that New York wasn't as hot as I thought it would be. So I stuffed in like 2 different sweaters. 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 One like really, really baggy baggy, one oversized like white knitty sweater. It's like one was like a white knit sweater that was really like over bagged and knitty. It was nice. I'm so just also not used to like those showers that have like that overhead thing. You know, the overhead shower that goes like that's like on the ceiling and it just rains shower water on you. Yeah, I'm not used to that. I always end up using that and not the shower head because the shower head is usually just trickles water. I hate it when it just trickles water and has no water pressure. So I still prefer to use the overhead shower thing because at least there's gravity to make it not trickle, you know? It was like one of those just regular cafes. We're eating sandwich. Overpriced sandwich, let me just say. Because I was surprised that each of us, we just had a drink and a sandwich. And each of us came out with like, was like what, $33 a person? $33 a person? $33 a person? $33 a person? And I was just like, really? For just a sandwich and a drink? And while we were like moguing, all of a sudden we hear coins like flying. And I'm like, what the hell did I see? Like, I guess they pretended that they were gonna order something. And then they all of a sudden just like shoved their whole arm into the tip jar, made coins fly everywhere, took all the bills apparently, and just dashed out. The person behind the counter was trying to grab them by the arm, but they didn't make it, and they were like, ah. The person behind the counter was trying to grab them by the arm. The person behind the counter was trying to grab them by the arm. The person behind the counter was trying to grab them by the arm, but they didn't make it, and they were like, ah. And then me and Kearney were picking up the coins because we were just on our way out. We were like, oh my god. And everyone was like, oh my god. So we were like, we're picking up the coins and we were like, are you guys okay? And then the the employees working there were like, ah, yeah, happens from time to time. 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 And me and Crony were just like, what? It happens from time to time? Anyways, yeah. And then me and Crony were just like scared, like, oh, we can't walk around New York alone, no. We need to stick together. 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 Anyways, I feel like part of like, and I get, none of the employees were like, you know, they were just like, shogun, and then they were just putting things away, and I was like, oh. They just acted like it was just a day-to-day thing. Day-to-day thing. Day-to-day thing. Day-to-day thing. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with that kind of stuff. Seriously, man. Shoplifting happens a lot too. 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 Man, and then you see like all the shops in Japan just leaving their stuff outside. You know, you see those shops where like they put like maybe 30% of their stock like right outside the store, just outside, and you're supposed to like take one and bring it into the store to buy it, you know? And I'm just like, wow. Yeah, Cece was like, I want to go shopping. And we went shopping. It was so funny because Cece would move so fast inside like the clothing stores. Went to like a department store. She would just fly through the racks. Like, she would just fly through the racks. She would just fly through the racks. She would just fly through the racks. Like, before you know it, I think like Ina and Bae kept losing her. I was following her. Ina and Bae were just like, where are they? And I was just like, where are they? And she was just flying. I was just following to make sure we didn't lose her. She was speed. She was so into it. 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 Meanwhile, I was looking at everything and I was like, why is it so expensive? But am I allowed to wear this in Japan? And I probably have to put like a shirt underneath it or something. If I wear a shirt underneath it, it's probably fine. Either that or wear like a sweater on top of it. Put the shoulders away. I really wasn't used to how like conservative the dress code was when I first came to Japan. I was just like, before that, I was just like, oh, shoulders out all the time. So I'm so used to that. Whenever I do have like shoulders out now, I'm just like, oh no, not my shoulders. Oh, scandalous. I've gotten so used to it. I'm just like, oh, my bare shoulders out in the open. Oh. And I look back on the days when it was used to be so normal for me. And I look back on the days, and I look back on the days, and I look back on the days when it was used to be so normal for me. Anyways, SCC was very, very hyped shopping. 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 It was cute. She just flew through. Oh, and then in the store, there was like this dude. We weren't so sure if he was like an employee for one of the stores or if he was just kind of there chilling. Suddenly called over to us. Suddenly called over to us. Suddenly called over to us. Suddenly called over to us, being like, "Hey, ladies, hey!" And we all ran. We ran away as but then, I'll just say one of us got caught by the dude. Like, "Where are you from?" And she was just like, "Oh." She felt too bad to completely ignore him. And she got stuck there. Meanwhile, the rest of us, or more like, I think two of them ran through. Me, I was like, sort of ran through, but I was like, kept a distance. So I was like, because the other two ran through, I didn't want like, the one that was stuck with the dude to be lost and not find us. So I was hiding in a corner, like watching from afar. And then, she was somehow able to shrug off the dude after a bit. It looked really hard to shrug him off because he was very talkative. Looked really hard to shrug him off because he was very talkative. And then she came up to me and she was like, "You guys abandoned me!" And amongst us, there was one extreme introvert, not introvert, I mean extrovert, introvert, not introvert, I mean extrovert, introvert, not introvert, I mean extrovert, introvert, not introvert, I mean extrovert. Among us four, there is one extreme extrovert, and she was just like, "Why did the extrovert not, why was the extrovert, this is the time when the extrovert is supposed to do her job." That was something that happened. Random people suddenly coming up to talk scaly, When she was like, "You guys abandoned me," we were like, you're supposed to just walk and run. You're supposed to run past them and not blink an eye. Not blink an eye. Not blink an eye. You're supposed to run past them and not blink an eye. Man, another thing I should remember? I should remember to buy sunglasses for New York, man. I see some members with like the really fancy like sunglasses. Though that looks kind of cool. The moment you put on the sunglasses, you look like a star. I want to be a cool kid too. I want to just put on those sunnies, and hold on to like a Starbucks coffee even though I don't drink coffee. That reminds me, I think Croney was scared me and was freaking out because she almost lost her sunglasses. She was wearing them in the beginning, and then toward the end, all of a sudden, it's like, no sunglasses. She's like, "Where'd my sunglasses go?" And I'm like, wait, I didn't realize. Yeah, where did your sunglasses go? Thankfully, she found it. She left it in the taxi. I'm glad that nobody just went and yoinked it. I'm glad that nobody just went and yoinked it. I'm glad that nobody just went and yoinked it. I'm glad that nobody just went and yoinked it. So thank God nobody just went and stole it, I'm glad they didn't just yoink it. So yeah, shopping was fun. Oh yeah, I remember Cece got locked out of her changing room. 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 Cece got locked out of her changing room because she was like showing us, we were on the couch and we were like, "Oh, that looks really cute." And she actually locks herself out of the changing room. All her stuff, and she still needs to wear like 3 other outfits before leaving, right? So she started screaming like, "Somebody, anybody! Somebody, anybody! Somebody, anybody! Somebody, anybody! Anybody, I'm locked out!" Meanwhile, the other three, the rest of us are just sitting on the couch, just like, checking our phones and not doing anything. We were just laughing because she was just like, "Somebody, anybody!" for somebody to come and help her, Poor Cece. It's not that we didn't care. No, we were just like, oh, she could probably handle it. She is a huge extrovert. She's great. We wouldn't have the guts to be like, somebody! And then that... We wouldn't have the guts to do that. 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 The rest of us would not have the guts to do that. Went to MoMA. I see Cece speeding through all the exhibits. Like, as per usual. As per usual. As per usual. As per usual. And Kiwawa would lose her, be like, where is she? Where is she? She's gone. And then I think I see Cece, and then I think I start seeing Kiwawa also speeding through the exhibits. Everyone was only taking pictures of Starry Night, and I took a picture of this one being like, poor thing, being completely ignored. Starry Night just shines too bright, you know? No. Van Gogh, let me look up Van Gogh Forest. No, it's not this. It was more squiggly. It was more squiggly. It was more squiggly. It was more squiggly. Oh, it's this one. Wait. The olive trees. It's the olive trees. I'm sad that we didn't get to play cards this year. Everyone was too busy, and the table was too cramped with our food and stuff to... And the table was too cramped with our food and stuff to... And the table was too cramped with our food and stuff to... And the table was too cramped with our food and stuff to make us go, oh, let's play cards. I really wanted to play cards. I was gonna post this on Twitter, but then I forgot. The fad was to take pictures of ourselves in the weirdest angles to get large head. That was the fad. That was the fad. That was the fad. That was the fad. And then I think they got pizza for dinner, but I didn't eat the pizza. Now that I think about it, I didn't eat any pizza. Oh wait, no. I did eat a bit of pizza for dinner. I did eat a tiny bit of pizza for dinner once, but yeah, in general, I didn't really eat much pizza. It was a lot of pizza. I was like, I'm good with pizza. I'm good with pizza. I'm good with pizza. I'm good with pizza. I feel like I moved a lot, and I only had pretty much like 1.5 meals a day pretty much. So yeah, I think I lost weight. I haven't weighed myself, but I think I did. I like rub my tummy and I'm like, yes, I think it's flatter now. In a couple days, not just a couple days, in the week, I was just so tired. I was so tired, I went to sleep with my makeup on for 3 days in a row. I went to sleep with my makeup on for 3 days in a row. I went to sleep with my makeup on for 3 days in a row. I went to sleep with my makeup on for 3 days in a row. I went to sleep with my makeup on. I was doing morning showers because I was just like, ah! I was so tired. I did that, and Crody was like, no, you can't do that. But surprisingly, I don't know if it's the New York weather or something, my skin was feeling great in New York. Did see squirrels. They were very cute. Only in Central Park. And New York got fat squirrels. That's so cute. I love it when the animal's chunky. 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 I love it when the animal's chunky. Anyways, that was a great MC. I was worried that maybe I was talking too much during the MC. But I always get worried. I always get worried that, like, you know, I don't want any, like, dead air in the MCs. I don't want any, like, dead air in the MCs. Dead air. I don't want any, like, dead air in the MCs. I don't want any, like, dead air in the MCs. So that's part of the reason why I become really, like, hyper. Part of the reason why I become really, like, hyper. Part of the reason why I become really, like, hyper. Like, I'm going to feel any dead air if there is any. If there is any. I'm going to feel any dead air if there is any. I'm going to feel any dead air if there is any. And then did you guys like Diamond Girlfriend? The hots are so loud. I was so happy. You guys all did it. Did it with me. Yeah, I really like the lighting and the whatchamacallit, in general. I'm glad that it fired up the venue. 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 I feel like it's even more hype than Carbonated. Carbonated is also hype too, but Diamond has like a lot of shouts. Like you can do a lot of shouts with it. And I love Chimera. Chimera is very much in my range, singing-wise. I didn't have to scream my head off singing Chimera. Scream my head off singing Chimera. Scream my head off singing Chimera. I didn't have to scream my head off singing Chimera. Which is nice sometimes. It's nice sometimes to have a song where you're so comfortably in your range. The arm wrestle. We felt really bad because it had a lot of... You know, we had to have the invisible table and and I think a lot of during like rehearsal and stuff, they were like, oh, the tracking! No, your arms look weird! Ah! And they had to really adjust a lot of things. Me and Chihuahua were like, it's okay, we don't mind if it's kind of scuffed, but staff really wanted to get it down right, and we felt really bad. I did win though, yes, I did win. I think Chihuahua, I personally think Chihuahua like threw a bit for me. We were going serious though. We were actually serious. At least I was serious. At least I was going all out. 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 She said she threw for time, but we did actually do arm wrestle a few times in like rehearsal, and I think even if she didn't care about the time, I think I still would have won because it is her non-dominant hand, you know. If dominant hand, yeah, I don't think I'd win, but non-dominant hand, yeah. If dominant hand, yeah, I don't think I'd win, but non-dominant hand, yeah. If dominant hand, yeah, I don't think I'd win, but non-dominant hand, yeah. If dominant hand, yeah, I don't think I'd win, but non-dominant hand, yeah. The Alice U was amazing. The Alice U was a very nice performance. It was very, very pretty. That was a very, very nice sounding. It was really nice. There was more to it. There was more to it. Yeah, Alice U goes hard. I really liked Shiori's Akuma too, man. When I saw Shiori's song choice, I was like, yes, yes. Okay, I think I'm pretty much. There might be more to talk about, but for now, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna start reading supers. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna start reading supers because it's been over 2 hours. Isho suddenly called over to us, being like, "Hey, ladies, hey!" I'll just say one of us got caught by the dude. 2 of them ran through. I was hiding in a corner, like watching from afar.
Ice cream shop, come to our ice cream shop. Come and try a bunch of flavors, you will not regret it. Ice cream shop, come to our ice cream shop. Come and hang out at our ice cream shop. It's called Not Just Ice, haha, yay!